Thank you. So great that you're here. So what we will actually do is we will talk some stories. So basically stories behind successful mints and creative mints and why some things work and why some things don't. Some are pretty obvious, but I think you will see the twist, which is really interesting. So first of all, these slides actually have a little warning with them. There's flashing imagery, and this is actually FSK 18, so I hope that's fine for you. We begin in 2022. I think everybody had this feeling like we had crushing portfolios. So first, in January, February, March, we were invincible. Everybody in the space had like unlimited money, had unlimited ideas. Every project was successful. You didn't need to do anything, and then bam, crash. And I think most of you in the room probably have experienced that crash. If not, very nice. But basically, what we learned from them is maybe the market has matured a little bit. Maybe we cannot rely on hype anymore. And to actually launch today a successful project, you need to have only three things straight. It's pretty simple. You probably know this from Marketing 101, to be honest. First of all, know your audience. A lot of people just have NFT people or Web3 people. Then we have people with a wallet, and then we have people who have no idea what the hell we're actually doing. So basically, you need to look deeper into your audience, because the NFT space actually has a lot of different personas, market segmentations. We will get to that in a second. Second of all, react to the market. A lot of projects, especially in the beginning of the year, who were incredibly successful in 2022, launched their companion drop, so another drop on top of their minting pass or whatever. And what happened then is basically nothing. Nothing was minted because they hadn't their timing right. They didn't look and react to the market how it was. But I will show you actually a project which you probably never heard of, but minted out in 2 minutes in the bear market. So we will come to that in a second. And last but not least, innovate beyond the expected. I think right now, there are many blueprints where people just do whatever worked so far. So we will talk a little bit about this. So first of all, know your audience. This is actually a segmentation study I firstly announced at the BAU, so Berlin University Alliance, which describes the space a little bit more. So basically, the main cause is the drive. Why do people have digital assets? And as you can see, there are 6 different types, and we will focus on 3 of them. First of all, investors. I think everybody knows this, what is called here investors. They are basically driven by profit. That's the idea. They want to look for use cases, they want to execute, but there are other people in the space. For example, if you go to a hackathon, you will find a lot of builders, which their drive is to shape. And there are a lot of people in the space who want to shape and want to have assets which shape the space. Another one is the explorer. You probably find them more on generative art fairs, on more ideas of artsy stuff, I would say. People who want experiences. People who want to play, to understand actually what's happening, and to understand what the future holds. Next, react to the market. You have basically 4 vehicles to do this. First of all, timing, as you already heard, supply, and last but not least, it's the mechanism how you mint. So first of all, we start with timing. I think that's pretty obvious. You need to look where to time. Supply is pretty simple if you understand how big your conversion rate is, which is, I think, pretty hard to calculate nowadays. There are some methods which I cannot tell you because I don't have enough time, but just hit me up afterwards. And last but not least, mint mechanism. And for the mint mechanism, there's often exactly this, that you have to innovate beyond the expected. And we will go into use cases now. We have a really beautiful use case for innovation, and we will also have a use case which you probably never heard of. This is Angry Dynamite's lab, which minted out in October last year, where everything went down, and they have like 10,000 Twitter followers, so nothing much. So it shouldn't have minted out 1,500 pieces for a good price. It shouldn't have. But because we looked at how the supply works, how the conversion rate works, and how the timing actually works, we could actually calculate quite steep with a lot of data that it sells out, and it sold out in 2 minutes. So I think that's a pretty good case here. Second case, Prometheans by Zero.Fun, probably heard of Giancarlo, which is also involved there. They did something very special. It already explains it a bit, but basically the mint works like this. There's a 15-minute timer. This 15-minute timer goes down, and from every time an NFT is minted, it sets back up to 15 minutes, which basically means you lower the timer, so basically the lower the timer, the rarer the NFT you get. That's basically it. If the 15 minutes are over, it's finished. And they minted in the bear market 55,000 NFTs. So I think that's pretty amazing. But use cases can be quite easy to find, actually, when you look at mint strategies. So first of all, Superpass, skill-based mint. I think that's pretty good, and we all know this by Yuga Lab, that it worked quite good. Digidaidaku did stealth mints, which is also pretty innovative by that time, especially also in not a perfect market. We would have a prime example of POA-based minting if the guy who is crossed out didn't fuck up so much. And we also have things like create to mint, so the QQR mint pass by Toiler Hobbs, or one of my favorite mint techniques, which is Denounce, which is an auction which runs every day. Every day. That's basically it. It just runs every day for 24 hours, and when it's finished, then it's finished. So to really sum it up, you only need to know 3 things. Know your audience, really dig deep into the Web3 space, and don't say they're all the same, because they aren't. Second of all, react to the market. I think it's a very seasonal market, and I think you pretty surely experience on yourself. And then last but not least, innovate beyond the expected. Before we go over to an innovation which I will share with you now, I have to say that I'm working in the biggest sex toy company in the world, which basically means this has some sexual content in it, and we are also working on a new way to mint. And this is actually masturbate to mint, which basically means we can mint with biological data of your orgasm to generate AI art. That's basically it. If you want to know more about this, I'm very happy to talk about this. My name is Fabian, aka Salvatan, and it was an honor to speak to you. Thank you.